Okay, playing the number 3 team in the country. They've got a 23-game home winning streak. When you look at it defensively, they're very good against the run, very good against the pass. I think they're second in the country in scoring defense. Very impressive on the run fits. They challenge you. They play a lot of man. They got some real guys that can cover. They got a real defense. You know, offensively, ninth in scoring offense. Quarterback's been playing a long time. Very impressed with the way he manages the game. Got a good run game, good pass game. They're really a complete team when you look at them. So it'll be a big challenge for us. I know we're excited to go there and play, and be a big challenge. Questions?
Gus, you said last week your defense would perform better in front of traditional offenses in terms of stopping the run. Seemed like you guys contained Keaton Mitchell. When you go back and watch the film, what did you really like about the way you guys, kind of?
Yeah, it was really just about run fits, and that was really our focus. That guy was a real scary guy, averaging 10 yards a carry, and that's really where the defensive game plan started. Just making sure we had our run fits taken care of. We did that. It was a good combination of our defensive front and our linebackers fitting their gaps, understanding their gaps, and that'll be real critical Saturday also.
Coach, what about freshman Mr. Adams? He started for you on Saturday. He played really well for a freshman. What made you put him into the lineup?
Yeah, he was just a guy that kept standing out in practice. Really, he caught my eye, in fall camp. He's a big guy, and he understands. He's got good football knowledge, and so he's a guy that just earned it. And he did a good job for his first start. He's got a chance to be a really good player.
What growth did you see week to week from Mikey Keene?
Of course, it was his second game. It was his first home game, and like I said, for young quarterbacks, a lot of times there's more pressure at home than there is on the road. So I was really excited the way he handled himself. I mean, he'd like to have that one throw back, but he makes some really good throws. We had one that had a chance for an explosive play. We dropped down the sideline, but thought he managed the game well. He threw the ball away when he had to. They went zero blitz on us a few times. He held as long as he could, and he never got us a chance. So overall, I think he had a good, solid performance this second.
Coach, you did mention going into the game this weekend, playing the third-ranked team in the nation in Cincinnati. A lot of the framing outside of and in the public is that this is a David and Goliath situation. Now, I know you've been around for a while. That outside wasn't supposed to get in that kind of thing, but is there kind of that David and Goliath feeling to this game where you were going to take that chance to try to overcome?
Well, I mean, they're one of the best teams in the country. We're playing them on the road. It's a big challenge, but that's part of it. I know our guys are extremely excited to play this bunch. Our coaches are too. This is one of the best teams in college football. It's not just one of the best teams in the conference. And I've been fortunate enough to play against some really, really good defenses, and I think you can put those guys in that same category. Some really good offenses, and I think you can put those guys in that same category too. So it's a big challenge, but we're looking forward to it.
When you watch Desmond Ridder play, how hard will it be to contain a guy like him? What does he do best, I guess?
Well, he's an experienced guy. He knows what he's doing. He's very well coached. He understands the system. Presents challenges, run game, pass game. He's a real guy.
Coach, your running backs, they've been playing really well. Obviously, Isaiah's out, and that's unfortunate, but they've all stepped in. Are you calling plays for individuals, or is it just plug and play?
Really, at first, when we lost Isaiah, we tried to be fairly specific. We learned a lot about our guys. And like we said earlier, Johnny's starting to become a complete back. It's good to get Mark out there in prime time. I think he answered the bell very good. So those guys getting experience is really going to help us in the long run. And, they're both coming into, turning into complete backs.
Third down conversions 5 of 15 in this game. You've mentioned it before. The last couple of weeks, it's been a struggle. What can you do to break through on that?
Yeah, we did a better job of kind of getting that 3rd and 7 or less. We just had one that we came up a yard short and all that. That's going to be real critical, in this game, making sure that we stay on the field and we're growing as an offense, and we got to do a good job of not only executing but getting a good plan also.
Coach, when you got a top 5 team coming in, or when you're going to play a top 5 team rather, a lot more eyes are on the players. How do you make sure that your team doesn't try to do, or your players don't try to do too much and try to stay within the system? What do you tell them?
Well, I mean, from a coaching staff, we need to give them a good plan. And, my experience in big games, I mean, you gotta have guys make plays. And, that's really what we're telling our players. We got some good players. We gotta make plays. And to have a chance to beat these guys, you gotta make plays. And that's gonna be our goal to help our playmakers get in position to do that. So hopefully that'll happen.
Is there a chance you got Isaiah Bowser back this week, or is he still?
That group is week to week. I mean, that's probably the best way to put it. I mean, it's, I don't know the answer. Thursday, I'll be able to tell you more.
I know it's still early in the week, Coach. I haven't had a lot of practice yet, but as far as the guys and taking that momentum from this past weekend's game, like how much different does it look at this point this week than last week?
Yeah, anytime you win, you go through 2 tough losses. That's tough on anybody. You have a tough earned win, and it was really kind of a team in the way everything went down. And that does nothing but help you. And it's a 24-hour rule when you win too. You got to put it behind you. And then you turn this film on. They'll wake you up in a hurry when you watch it. Man, our guys, my wife could watch film with this group, and they know they're really good. I mean, so hey, it's on to next week in college football, and that's the way we're approaching it.
Kalia Davis went down, didn't return to the game, he held walking to the sidelines. Do you have any update on his status? And if he's not able to go, how does him not being on the defensive line change the rotation at tackle?
Yeah, that was a tough blow. We lost him for the year. That's what we did, and he'll have surgery in the near future. Phenomenal player, phenomenal person. I think he's one of the best players in our conference. So obviously it's a big blow for us. It's next man up mentality. I will tell you this: once he went down, our defense still played well after that. So we got to have the next man up.
Coach, what about the ability to stop them outside? Ford's very fast, Ritter's fast. Is there anything different you do in terms of containing? Like, Josh and Big Cat are good,
Yeah.
but that's an athletic group.
I think you got to tackle well in space. I mean, that's it. I mean, they do a good job schematically. They put people in space, and we got to tackle well in space. That's probably the best way to put it.
Coach, your team hasn't had a lot of road success yet. How confident are you can put 60 minutes together against obviously a very daunting opponent?
Yeah, that's a challenge, and that's what we do. You're exactly right. We've had 2 really close, tough losses. I guess the positive is they were really close. We had chances to win it, so we've got to find that next step, and that's what we've been talking about. And I think the good thing is we had another close one last week, and we actually won. We had a close one against Boise and won, so we know what it feels like. Road's a different deal, and obviously playing these guys is even a bigger challenge. So we need a very, very strong effort.
Your defense created 3 turnovers, but couldn't score any points off those turnovers. That's got to be a point of emphasis for you this week.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think the week before we did a pretty good job of that. So yeah, we're forward. Yeah, getting turnovers and capitalizing. Especially in a game like this, there's a fine line, and you need to play well in all 3 phases. You need to capitalize when you get opportunities, and that'll be a big factor.
Obviously, you guys, the goals are still there for you. Do you talk about that with the team as far as conference goals? If you're able to come away with a win this week?
Yeah, what we're talking about week to week right now. All right, we're just taking it one game at a time, and I think that's the right way to go about it.
How can Johnny Richardson help your passing game?
Well, I mean, he's a receiving threat, out of the backfield. Obviously when he's in the game, he's a big play drive type guy. So, I think he puts, stress on defenses. And like I said, he's starting to become more of a complete back, which is really good for us.
Do you have any history with Luke Fickle?
No, I got a lot of respect for him. I've been watching him for a long time, and he's good. And he's got this program, he's built it. And he stayed there when he probably could have been other places, and he was committed to building it. And he's got one of the best teams in college football. And, just looking at them, I mean, they're a team that, I'd put them up against any team in college football right now, offensively and defensively, and special teams, which I didn't say. They're really good on special teams too. So he's got a complete team. He's built it. It's impressive to watch.
Your focus is obviously on this team, what you're doing here, but bigger picture, you really could spoil a whole lot of things for Cincinnati. Does that conversation come up at all with your guys?
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's so much about spoiling them. It's about us. I mean, it's about us getting better. Another opportunity to play one of the best teams in the country on the road and find a way to get it done, I mean, really, that's what we're talking about.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.